Welcome to our brand new podcast, Green on the Go, brought to you by Holiday Extras. This podcast looks at how our travel habits affect the world around us and essentially how we can travel better to maintain a sustainable future for this planet. So hello, I'm India and welcome to our new podcast. So we've been making travel guides for the past couple of years with Holiday Extras. We've been travelling the world, we've seen some amazing places, but along our travels, we've noticed that us human beings are really taking the mick a little bit with the way that we travel, and we've noticed how our travel habits are really affecting the world around us. So in light of that, we thought we'd bring to you a podcast called Green on the Go to talk about sustainable travel and how we can learn and how we can change our habits to build a brighter future for all the travelling that we love to do. And today I'm brought to you. Today I am joined by Tom.
Hello.
Tom Baker, who is from our social team. So I wanted to have a chat with Tom. One, because he's a major part to why we have started this podcast. He's got a wealth of knowledge in this area as it is. And two, because I have personally noticed that there's been such a massive trend on sustainable travel on Facebook, on social media. And also I know that our Holiday Extras page has a big theme to it, which is brilliant. But I just want to know why suddenly it's become quite trendy and why suddenly it's in the public eye so much. So yes, let's start with a bit about your background, Tom.
Okay, so I'm Tom. I work as part of the social media team at Holiday Extras. And like most people, I've always tried to recycle and waste not, want not, and just try and make sure that I was keeping an eye on my carbon footprint and trying to live as eco as possible. But it's just one of those things that just starts to become part of your day-to-day. It's not really a conscious thing. I didn't realise the extent of the problem and the scale of what we are doing to the world. And I'm sure this is the case with most people, particularly in the UK, until I saw Blue Planet 2, last October, I believe it came out.
Yeah, I remember that.
With the hero of a man, David Attenborough.
Love him.
Telling us just how much damage we have done to particularly the world's oceans over the past 20, 30, 50 years, since we've really started using plastics more than anything else as part of our day-to-day lives. So I believe it's the famous image of the seahorse holding a cotton earbud.
That went viral, didn't it?
That was heartbreaking to see something like that. And I think it's that the images like that are now becoming more and more widespread and permeating the zeitgeist of particularly Western society, that have really started to see a trend into more sustainable travel and less plastics travel.
Absolutely. I think it's one of those things, you know about it. We all have known for years. We've got to recycle. Oh yeah, there's a recycling bins. We should put it in there. But we're all very visual creatures. And I think once you see it, and obviously the likes of Facebook, it's a visual platform.
Yep.
It all becomes very, very real.
Indeed.
So what sort of things are you finding on social media that are sort of creating a bit of a hype about in the realm of sustainable travel? If you put something out there, what are people sort of talking about, where the conversation's heading?
It definitely seems to be more of a theme around traveling with less plastics more than anything else, because that's the sort of thing that more than anything else that we can do on a person by person level that really is making a big impact on the environment. Even from the domestic point of view, before you've even left your house, about 40 kilograms of plastic is used per family per year that is not recycled, that could be recycled. Plastic takes 500 years to decompose as well. So that cotton bud that you flush down the toilet, or perhaps a packet of sweets or something that just gets thrown in the regular bin rather than a recycling bin, that's going to stay either in the oceans or in the ground for 500 years before it disappears. And then it can get into the food chain if an animal eats it or ingests it in any way. And then it can come back to us. So it can actually have a negative detrimental impact to our health as well as the planet itself.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think this was something I saw on social media recently, that mussels, you know, we all love, are Muls and Fritz.
Absolutely.
they absorb so much plastic just because of whatever the way that they eat. So it's something like, I don't know what the percentage is, but a huge percentage of those mussels that you're eating is plastic that then goes into our systems.
And sometimes it's the stuff you can't even see. I know the microbeads in a lot of exfoliating face scrubs and other toiletries, they end up in the ocean and they can be eaten by a fish and they won't even know it. And then another fish will eat it and eventually we will eat either a tuna or a cod or something. And those plastic beads are in us. And although there's been no study into the effects of what it will do to a human, because this is still a very new science, there is the high risk that these things are carcinogenic. So a few years down the line, we could be seeing that what we've done through either negligence or apathy or laziness may have very well caused some health problems for us down the line, which is a scary thought. But the thing is that all plastic is recyclable as well. So it's not as bleak as it sounds. If we make some steps now from day-to-day things to what we do in travel as well, we can make a big difference now.
Yeah, and I think actually that's, there's some bad sides to social media, but there are some great sides. And
absolutely.
Getting these kind of messages out
indeed
is one of the brilliant sides of social media, and making people more aware. Just out of curiosity, do you ever find on our Holiday Extras Facebook page any comments that are sort of negative towards this subject when you put stuff out? Or is it everybody is well on board and, you can tell that there's a big change? Well,
luckily, because our fan base is so lovely, the vast majority of comments are very supportive and most people tend to be on board with the idea of, look, travel itself is hard to be it's hard to be green. I believe there was a study done back in April where it said that 87% of respondents said that they were interested in travelling sustainably, but they don't really know how. And I think that can be one barrier. And I think one thing that we do see on the feed sometimes, which does make it's sort of the more of the counter argument to an extent, is what can one person do? Because obviously this is a global problem. This is affecting oceans around the world. It's affecting billions and billions of people. What can one person do? And it's easy to say, well, it is just one cotton bud. It is just one plastic toiletries tube that I'm taking on holiday. But one person making a difference times 1,000, times 1,000,000, that's going to make the difference. And I think that there is a more and more of a communal feel, particularly with social media, that people are banding together to make a discernible difference. Whether that be just doing like a community thing like beach cleans, which we've done as part of Holiday Extras in the past, or just adopting more environmentally friendly brands, whether that be brands that sell bamboo toothbrushes instead of plastic ones, or potentially reusable food wraps rather than cling film or the like. I think that's where the benefit of social media is coming through. It's the education and also the community feeling that you get with it, that people are really starting to see that one person combined with everyone else can make a huge difference.
And if everybody's all in it together, you feel like you're part of a team that's
absolutely.
Really fighting against this. Because I know that it has really affected me in the way that I travel. I've always tried to be as mindful as possible, but I guess sometimes ignorance is bliss, isn't it? And you don't realise what's going on. But I now, for example, will always travel with my Holiday Extras travel mug. I take this everywhere with us. And we've just come back from New York, and I was really saddened when I was there, actually. We're making a travel guide in New York, and I really felt like New York was not as nearly as advanced in plastic pollution as London was, for example. In London nowadays, you really get everywhere with bamboo straws or cardboard straws, and they really promote the fact that you want to use these because you get a 20p off your coffee, or it's wooden cutlery, all that sort of thing. It's really becoming quite the norm nowadays. It's not everywhere, but it's quite the norm. In New York, however, I didn't see it anywhere. And actually, constantly, would you like a plastic bag with that? Would you like a plastic bag with that? No, thank you. No, we're good. And I think people were quite confused when I went to get my coffee and said, can you put it in this? Yeah. Whereas in London or wherever, in the UK, I think it's becoming quite normal, which is brilliant because it's becoming a habit. thinking about plastic pollution is now becoming a habit that we're trying to avoid it as best we can. So just moving forward, is there any sort of pages or social media or people that you like to follow on a personal level that really promote, saving the planet and travelling sustainably and being mindful about how we recycle?
Absolutely. There's lots of brands, particularly in the travel sphere that we're in, who are also adopting sustainable travel practices and are advocating sustainable travel products and whatnot, and such as TUI, Thomas Cook. But one page that I recommend that everyone follows is the Travel Foundation, our charity partners. They are dedicated to making sure that travel is sustainable for future generations of wanderlusters and travel addicts, just like ourselves, and making sure that we're not either putting a strain on certain destinations through over-tourism or through littering, and just giving back a little bit, because obviously the world is an amazing place, and I highly recommend that everyone travel and see as much of it as possible. But as the old saying goes, take only photos, leave only footprints. That's
brilliant.
That's one of the little things that you can kind of adopt that methodology to what the Travel Foundation do.
Right.
And what I really, really like about them is that they will go around the world, such as Turkey and Cape Verde, and they will do projects to help the communities out there benefit from tourism, as well as making sure that their specific destinations are sustainable for future tourists to come. So it's not a case of, you shouldn't go there, that is a dangerous place to go, or that's a place that if you go there, you're going to harm their ecosystem and their environmental balance. It's more of a case of go there, enjoy the culture and the beaches and whatnot, but do it in a way that you aren't making such a detrimental effect on their environment, and you are boosting their local economy as well. So I believe that you guys are going to Cape Verde in the next couple of months to check out some of the work that the Travel Foundation are doing.
In the process of writing scripts for that at the moment. And we've got lots of exciting things there. We originally booked it in as to make a travel guide there because it's quite a popular holiday destination. And then since we've started doing research, and obviously we then found out that the Travel Foundation had done a lot of work there, we have decided to sort of change the tone of the video. It's going to be a lot about educating ourselves, educating our customers, educating you guys, viewers, about how we can travel more sustainably. And because Cape Verde, or now it likes to be called Cabo Verde.
I always make that mistake.
I know. I never know which one to use with different people. Because it is an island, the effects of travel is phenomenal. The effects of tourists.
I can imagine, yeah.
Because what do you do with all that plastic that these hotels are generating? They also have a really, really low amount of rainfall.
Right.
So, all of this comes into play. So we're going to be hopefully going to visit a tip, which doesn't sound particularly very glamorous, but I think, like we were saying before, seeing something, for what it is, rather than hearing about it, affects us so much more. So if we can get that on video and then share it with people, and so next time that they travel, they think, oh, okay, I don't need that plastic straw because that plastic straw is going to go in that tip. And then where's all that rubbish in that tip going to go if it's on an island? So hopefully we're going to be having a chat with someone from the Travel Foundation out there when we're there. So we go end of November. So very, very excited about that one, and going to hopefully come back with a wealth of knowledge that then we'll be able to share on our social media.
Exactly. Well, that was kind of the whole thought behind Green on the Go, was making sure that we can educate some of our audience and ourselves as well about sustainable travel practices from, frankly, the industry experts, whether it be the Travel Foundation or, as you say, just people who are passionate about the subject. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what we can learn on this audiovisual journey over the next few months, and seeing how we can travel all around the world, but keep it green.
Absolutely. I think on that note, sounds like a good time to round this up. But that was a brilliant start to the podcast, I feel. Thank you so much, Tom.
Anytime.
For coming in. And like I say, Tom's a big part of this podcast, so there's a very good chance he'll be in my seat quite a few times interviewing other people. So you'll definitely be hearing and seeing from him again in the future. So if you have liked what you've heard, then you can subscribe via iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts from. You'll also be able to watch every episode on our YouTube channel, Holiday Extras Travel Guides, and you can check out more travel videos on there too. So just to finish up, a huge thank you and shout out to the sponsors of the show, Holiday Extras. Holiday Extras is the UK's market leader for travel extras, from airport hotels, parking, lounges, destination car hire and travel insurance. So Holiday Extras' purpose is less hassle, more holiday. But they also believe this shouldn't come at a price to the environment or local communities, so are continuing to develop ways to improve the way we travel. Thanks again for listening, and I can't wait to have you on board for the next episode.